it's very important to have a strategic CX plan in mind. When you see a red flag, usually KPIs are red flags. So I see early churn or churn going down. Okay, it's going up actually. It's a red flag. Yes. Don't put in place tactical initiatives just to move the KPI.
Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of Engati CX. I'm your host, Kimberly, and we're really excited to have all of you join us today. On the show, we talk to CX and technology experts from around the world. We explore, uncover, and share fresh insights on creating experiences that your customers will remember and look forward to. Engati is the world's leading multilingual, no-code digital CX platform available across 15 channels, 53,000 solutions created across 186 countries in every domain and use case. Engati has also been recognized as the top platform by Inc. magazine, Tech World, CIO magazine, and many others. Engati recently also won the Cody 2021 award for being the best AI-driven technology solution. We run the Engati blog, the video channel, and the Engati CX podcast, receiving upwards of 500,000 visitors annually. And now for today's guest, we have Michela Cocco with us on the show today. She is currently the Global Customer Experience and Innovation Manager at Nespresso. In her career, she has led global CX transformation projects in international companies across different industries, and her main areas of competencies are CX strategy, CX design, customer journey management to customer-centric culture development. Her passion for CX and ambition of improving the CX by challenging is the status quo, make her true customer advocate and change maker. Currently, she is responsible for the design and delivery of new value propositions, customer journeys, and experiences that will shape the future of Nespresso globally. Welcome to the show, Michela. It's so nice to have you join us today.
Thank you, Kimberly, and thank you for having me here, and thanks for the introduction as well.
Awesome. Before we dive into our interview with Michela, don't forget to subscribe to Engati and tap the bell icon so that you get access to exclusive content coming from thought leaders from around the world. Well, once again, Michela, a very warm welcome to the show. It is really an honor to have you with us today.
Thank you. It's an honor for me to be here, and I'm looking forward to our chat.
Awesome. Like your bio clearly mentioned, how a passionate advocate you are of customer experience. Diving into our first question would really be is, what do you think the top priority should be for a company that wants to really improve customer experience?
Yeah, I think a company needs to be customer centric nowadays. We cannot compromise on customer experience. Sometimes there are some missing elements in some companies that don't allow them to be truly customer centric. So I think that in order to improve the experience, you need to have an organization that is shaped based on the customer. So first of all, you need to have in place a governance that reflects the customer journeys. So you shouldn't lead projects in silos and stand alone. You should lead customer journeys and then come up with the projects that will, when implemented, will form the overall experience for the customer. So it's more like a journey management approach. And also it's very key to have, a person in the board members or in the leadership team that represents the customer. So a chief customer officer or chief experience officer, we can call it many ways. So this is very important. On top of this, you need to have the technology to deliver the desired experience. Of course, it's not the starting point, the technology, so it's the how you deliver the ideal experience, so it comes later, but you need to be willing to invest in technology if your current technology doesn't allow you to deliver the best experience to your customer. And then an important thing is the culture. So you need to make sure that within your company and employees, you develop a customer-centric culture. There are many tricks that can be put in place very easily. But the most important thing is that you always speak about the customer. Everyone in the company should be aware, for example, of what NPS is and what is the current NPS score that you have in your company, and what are the customers' feedback and so forth. So at all levels of the organization and in all the departments, this should be a priority.
Yes, very well said. I really liked one point where you've mentioned that it is very important to first map your customer's journey and then make sure you put in projects in place that will cater to that and not just come up with projects and then try to fit in the journey. Yes, you've really
Yeah.
said that the best. Diving into our next question here is how can we really develop and execute a group-wide customer loyalty improvement program that promotes business growth and also strengthens the relationship between customers and businesses?
Yeah, so the company's objectives should be, of course, to make sure that customers choose the brand again and again, and even more, even that they buy more and more, so they are willing to spend their money even more year over year. The key success factor to deliver a loyalty program that works. I'm not gonna go into the how, into the solution. I would rather approach the methodology today.
Mm-hmm.
First point is to understand why your customers are leaving your brand. And you can do this easily in all your markets if you are a global company by going out there and speak to your customer and not only understand why they leave your brand, but also understand what in general keep them loyal to a brand. Because then is on those insights that you need to build your strategy. So if you understand what are the driver of loyalty independently of your products and company, then you can start your design of your loyalty program based on that, and you will not fail. And of course, you should then keep the customers involved in the design process as well, go back to them, test, iterate, and so on, before you deliver the end solution. But understanding the drivers of loyalty overall, it's the key.
Yes, you've definitely put it in the best way possible. We've seen e-commerce as an industry really booming as far as forced digital transformation came into picture and the pandemic happened and stuff like that. What are some interesting trends that you've seen for e-commerce in this year in terms of customer experience, in terms of customer behaviors as well?
Yeah, I have to say that, as we all know, in the last couple of years, it's been a bit crazy out there, and this has impacted both the customer behaviors, as you just said, and also how companies are approaching the digital channels. In my opinion, a company should have an omni-channel perspective, where digital, of course, it's an important part of it, such as its retail. So we need to be able to combine all the channels to deliver an omni-channel experience to our customers and be able to satisfy everyone needs. Because we might have both digitally savvy customers and customers who will never open our website and just go to our retail stores. So behaviors have changed. Of course, we've been stuck at home for a while. On the other side, those who didn't lose their job also had extra money to spend because they were not going on vacation and so forth. So digital sales just went crazy. I think they kept up, many businesses, many companies and they kept them away from the actual crisis. So at Nespresso, for example, we've seen a boom of the digital sales that we've never reached before. So it means that if you create a way for customers to use your digital channel easily, and if they find the value of using it, they will use it. So we saw customers buying online that they never bought online before. And one of the trends that I saw was the combination of the digital capabilities and the digital channels and the human side of the retail experience brought to the digital channel. So we have seen these solutions coming up of virtual shopping experience, where basically you browse the company website, the catalog online, you choose your product, and you can, if you are not sure and so on, and you would like to have some advice, you can get in touch directly with a sales assistant in the store through a video call. And the sales assistant in the store will take you through the same purchasing experience that you would have if you were actually there. So showing you all the products in the show window, telling you about the characteristic and so on. The only thing, of course, that you cannot do is to try on, if it's about clothes, to try on your shoes or your clothes. But if it's about any other object, you will really have a sales pitch and assistant from a human being. So I saw the ambition of humanizing the digital experience by implemented these new technologies who create basically an hybrid shopping experience. And it's not only that, of course, customer had to get to know more about the products that they were buying. Some customers, they don't trust online channels and so on. And sometimes the information that you have on the websites is not the same that a sales assistant might give you. So also we saw some trends in the how you show your content to your and how you engage with your customers online. And there is this video interactive storytelling coming up. We adopted at Nespresso, for example, where basically you just put together a video storytelling and customers can choose the topics that they want to deep dive, a bit like in the series Black Mirror or Netflix. Basically, based on the choice, you will see a different video. So you will create the storytelling and you will get to the information that you need. So you can shape, as a customer, you can shape and personalize the experience. And in our case, we had like a coffee ambassador talking directly to the person. So these really cut the distances among digital and retail. And I think these will stay as a trend.
Yes, definitely. You've really touched upon certain things, especially like humanizing digital experience. In fact, I've come across one app store that really sends you products for free to trial. Like there's this cosmetic brand, I don't really recall, but they've really started sending out these small packet size things for trial. And it's really helping people try on new products and is really enhancing the experience that they have for their online store. Talking about businesses, success, and metrics here, how should businesses define their success and outline what growth they need to achieve, keeping their goals in mind? What metrics should be considered here?
So here, of course, I will not go into financial metrics, but all the business track financial KPIs and put objectives and targets on those. Revenues, number of clients, if you are a direct-to-consumer business, and so forth, costs, and so forth. One important thing that not every company does is to put also the customer KPIs in their objectives of growth. So it's true, I see the revenues going up, fine, we are safe, we feel safe. But what about our customers? What about the Net Promoter Score? What about the churn? What about the loyalty? I think today we don't need to demonstrate anymore that if you work on your customer experience, you will have extra revenues. I hope that everyone now has the proof. We are all customers at the end of the day, and we all know that if a company doesn't treat us well, if they don't deliver to us a good customer experience, we will stop buying their products.
Yes,
at the end of the day, who is paying our salaries? It's the customers. So the only thing about CX is that sometimes it's hard to prove this correlation because CX is a strategic thing. It's not that you improve the CX today and tomorrow you have the results. You can do that with, for example, UX. Yes, if you improve the user experience of your website today, in 2 weeks, you can already assess how it's performing compared to the previous month. And indeed, the UX is a part of a broader CX. Customer service as well. If you change your service model, if you train your customer service agents and so on, you can see quite a very quick impact on the KPIs. But to measure the overall customer experience takes time. But we need to have customer KPIs in our objectives. We know that if we increase if we improve these KPIs, it will reflect on the revenues because it will reflect on the loyalty. Customer will stay with us. The value of each customer for the company will increase. So today I spend X, tomorrow I spend X plus 10% in your brand. So that brings revenue. Why? Because I'm happy with your customer experience and also happy with your products, of course. It's a combination of the thing. So I would suggest that we really need to put ambitious targets on the customer KPIs, such as Net Promoter Score, customer satisfaction, churn, equal loyalty, and so forth. This is a key point.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much, Michela, for really touching upon these very important points that most of the time businesses tend to overlook. Obviously, wanting to fit into competition and trying to, really amp up their game. But thank you so much for your insights. I'm sure many businesses are going to really take this interview as an assist guide and really kind of change their model or really rework on it. Are there any other sound bites you'd like to leave our audience? Anything we skipped that is essential?
Yeah, linking to the last question, I would say that it's very important to have a strategic CX plan in mind.
Mm-hmm.
When you see a red flag, usually KPIs are red flags. So I see early churn or churn going down. Okay, it's going up actually. It's a red flag.
Yeah.
Don't put in place tactical initiatives just to move the KPI.
Correct.
Don't work on acquisition just to acquire customers that then on which you will invest a lot, because we all know how much acquisition cost can be.
Correct.
And then you don't focus on the experience to gain their loyalty, because it will just generate extra costs. So just be sure that to use the KPIs as a red flag and then deep dive into the why it's happening by going out there and talk to your customers and put it in place a medium long-term strategy, not a short one. Otherwise, it will be a circle. The red flag will come all over again, and you think that you're not doing enough. So really a strategic approach. Try to have a CX plan to cascade to all your markets if you are a global company, in order to ensure a minimum level of experience everywhere for your customers, and then play on the wow moments. So for example, define what is the minimum standard experience that you need to deliver in order to make your customers happy, and then work on some peaks of emotions to even to bring even more loyalty and engagement with your customers. But for sure, always keep your customers in mind.
Yes, thank you so much, Michela, for really summarizing this for us. Thank you so much for giving us your time. Your insights were really valuable, and I know our audience is going to enjoy this interview as much as I did.
Thank you, Kimberly. And if there is any questions, just reach out to me on LinkedIn, and I will be able. I'll be glad to share more insights if needed.
Definitely. We will make sure we link down Michela's LinkedIn, so you can definitely go and reach out to her. We'll be back again with a new episode and a brand new expert soon. So stay tuned, and we'll see you around for the next one. Thank you.
Thank you.